Very happy morning to one and all present here, and I welcome you all to Skilling on Saturdays. Today we have with us our guest Anshuman Tiwari ji, and who has 25 years of experience in transformation, innovation, quality, and simplification. That is, he calls it TIQS. I am a he is a passionate and result-oriented leader who delivers world-class operations excellence to clients across multiple industries as a global head of operational excellence in DXC Technology. He leads a global team to simplify and transform DXC's delivery to customers, deploying world-class processes, ensuring compliance and continuity and improvement. He also is an ASQ fellow since 2013. He is a LinkedIn top voice since January 2022 and a mid-career coach. He loves to share his knowledge and expertise with others. He has taught quality principles, methods, tools to 10,000 plus professionals and helped his clients win several quality awards, including Deming Prize. He has also led initiatives that generated over $250 million in benefits, focusing on composite outcomes around revenue, cost, customers, and employees. His mission is to make an impact and lead people to deliver 10x results. He has spoken at various companies, more than 100 companies in 15 plus countries, including Amdocs, ANZ Bank, Birla Group, HDFC Bank, Hindalco, HSBC, Indian Navy, ISRO, Infosys, One.com, Reliance, Tata, and many more. He has also been a guest or keynote speaker at ISB, IIM Raipur, IIM Lucknow, Symbiosis, IIT Roopur, Sumaya Christ College, Gibbs, Alliance University, BITS Pilani, and many more. He also runs a LinkedIn live show, Gained Manage Better, a YouTube channel, and a podcast series. And his show has more than 100 shows. With this brief introduction, I invite you, Anshumanji, to guide our audience with your esteemed knowledge that you have accumulated over the years. I hope he is finding some difficulty with the Zoom. Was there right now? So meanwhile, if anyone wishes to speak out something, so you are most welcome by the time he is just reconnecting. Good to see you, Anurag, over here. Brishji, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good morning. More than my introduction, I love this concept of SOS. Okay. So probably if you can share, how it started, what is the inspiration, that would be great for people.
Yeah, definitely. So we started Skilling on Saturdays from February 2023. And it was a concept that people must get holistic knowledge at one platform. So that was the inspiration. And as we have a passion towards personal development and skills development, that was the reason we got started with this idea, and people are liking it. So from there we started. Over the period, over these years, we have invited various guests. So we are running on episode 87. Initially, it was we three of us, myself, Hirani sir, and Adukya sir. We were conducting ourselves and guiding our CA members. Mostly our audience is from CA fraternity, and we were guiding CA members. But then we thought of like how much we can guide others. Our knowledge is limited, so why not invite industry experts and make it a knowledge sharing platform? So that was the concept. And after around 10 to 15 episodes, we started calling various people, and that's where this kind of concept came into existence. This was a brief history. And
Yeah.
we have invited various industry experts, including coaches, trainers, mentors, even scientists. And we invited ISRO scientists as well. We invited various top level executives from companies, military people, army veterans, and many, many more. So today we have
Hi,
Anshuman
Shivani.
Tiwari ji, and I hope
Are
you
you?
are all okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you
Yeah,
both.
very sorry for this. I had to eventually join from my phone because somehow the Zoom connection
Happens
on my
sometimes. So it's a part
no,
and
it is
parcel.
very embarrassing. I don't like being late to anything. People
Understood.
are waiting. Even one person waiting is too much. So sorry once again, and to all audience also. My apologies. So we are good to start, and I'm
Yes,
happy to
sir.
extend if we have lost some time.
No issues. I have introduced yourself and I introduced the concept of skilling on Saturdays, how we started. So all of that. Meanwhile, and you can go ahead. Welcome to Skilling on Saturdays, and you can go ahead with your demonstration. I'm just granting you rights. If you have any presentation, you can go ahead.
No, I don't have presentations. My preferred style is that I will give a small introduction to intentional careers and
Yes.
then would like to take questions from the audience. That is
Okay,
my
great.
general process.
Great.
So
Yeah,
that because then I can answer what people have in mind and rather than say what
definitely.
I want to say, right? So the people on call, please be ready with your questions. So anything that comes to mind related to building intentional careers and those kind of topics, I am happy to take. So, firstly, very briefly, I'm a IT services professional, but I'm not an IT person. I work in the IT industry. I'm an operational excellence and quality management professional. I've been the in this field for almost 30 years now, working since 1994. And over the years, one thing I've figured out is that being intentional about what you do is extremely important. So in the last few years, I started recording my thoughts and listing down these topics. So that became a habit, and that leads to calls like this where I have the opportunity of speaking to people like you. And so we will now get into what is intentional from my point of view. So number one, intentional, of course, as the name suggests, it is something that you initiate, you have an intention, you have attention, you have intention, and you have some idea of where you're going. So suppose you have to go from one location to another location, uh, you can take a bus, you can take a car, but whatever may be your mode of transport, but your intention to go there and reach on a certain time is extremely important. Now, don't confuse this with objective, because objective is about landing. Intention is about starting and continuing the journey. So, in most careers, if you look at careers of very senior and very famous people, and I'm sure you have some heroes and people who you look up to. If you look at their career looks fantastic today when you look at them. And Shivani, is it okay if I ask people to participate and because they're not like hundreds of people, I noticed that there are
yeah,
like
yeah.
so give
Please
me
go.
one or two. So to the audience, give me some heroes that you have in your mind, with who you look up to, admire in your field, or anything. It could be sports, politics, science, technology, commerce, anything. Anyone? No? Very quiet crowd. I should check if people are there. People are there, I can see. So, कोई
Hello.
तो नाम होगा? हाँ, yeah.
Yeah, good
Gaurav
morning.
Sharma.
Good morning. This is Atul Gandhi. I would like to know
हाँ,
something regarding the career in medicine. This is regarding for my daughter.
this is a great example of lack of intention. My question was that who's your hero, and you have a question for me. So I'll take that question later. But
Okay.
for now, I want to know one of you, or maybe a few of you, if you can share. Then I can share with you what is the meaning of uh, intentional career.
Yeah, sir. We can say, being a chartered accountant, we look up to Rajkumar Adukia, sir, because he's doing so much professionally. He has a number of degrees like nobody would imagine. Academically, he has, and number of degrees, you can say. So we definitely look
Okay.
up to him, and he has taken a lot of initiatives like the Skilling on Saturday and an NLP program, which is helping me to a great extent. So I definitely look up to him.
Fantastic. So I don't know Rajkumarji, but obviously he's doing a good job. The one thing I can definitely mention, that never look up to somebody who has a lot of degrees. You don't know what he or she is doing. So that need not be a reason for looking up to somebody. But of course, like you said, people who are doing something for the community, profession, those things are very important, right? Degrees is, after a while you realize that you just need one basic degree in life. The rest of it comes along with practice. But anyway, not getting there.
What
So
inspires me about him is, after being so much academically, that and being like, he's down to earth, such an humble person, like,
fantastic.
which is
So that is something that helps this conversation. So the intentional career is more about, if you asked Rajkumarji, and maybe 10 years ago, or even when he was in school, what will be your career like, and at which age, what will you be doing? He might have some views, right? Because we don't, we don't have his biography listed, or at least we don't know what he was thinking in school, right? And what actually turned out to be could be better, could be less than that, could be more, could be anything, but it is certainly not the same that we thought. So that is something that I explain. And if you look at people around you also, including yourself, many of you would have, I see that you are CAs and other professions in who have done quite a lot. So your journey, what you thought and what it is never the same. Direction might be same. So that is why number one rule of intention is that don't focus on destination, focus on direction. Destination is sometimes not in your control. It is in other people's control also, right? You are not God's gift to mankind, living in this world where we are only looking at uh, your journey. There are people in your family, community, friends. You are part of their dreams also.
yes.
You are not dreaming alone. You are part of their dream as well. So this futility of having a destination and being obsessed about destination is a highly selfish human nature. We think we are God's gift to mankind, therefore it is our dream that matters, and other people's dreams of us or our role in their dream does not matter. So that is why I say number one rule is direction is extremely important. Number two is that some kind of hard work and patience is extremely important. Most of the some of you would have heard of this 10,000 hour rule. Anyone has heard of the 10,000 hour rule? So 10,000 hour rule, those who've not heard, or those who even heard, in summary, is Malcolm Gladwell's research on successful people. And he was able to highlight that amongst other things, one thing was very common, that these people had invested 10,000 hours or in that range into building one mastery. Now, if you look at 10,000 hours and try and break it down, 10,000 hours, so 1 hour per day, if you invest in mastering something, it will take 10,000 days, right? Assuming that you work for 250 days a year, right? So that, do the math, it takes 4 years for 1,000. So 40 years for 40 years for becoming a master, right? Kiske paas hai 40 years? Nobody has that 40 years, right? So is the rule wrong? No, because it was proven on many people. So the logic is that you are actually working many hours a day to build that mastery. 1 hour a day is not going to be enough. If and this rule may be wrong also. It could be 20,000 hours. It could be 25,000 hours. For example, in some fields like which are highly skill oriented, like medicine or other science oriented fields, very deep knowledge. Even in some of you are CAs, the CA field changes every 2-3 years also. So you cannot actually. There are so many rules, regulations, guidelines of government and other agencies that keep changing depending on the field you are. So this 10,000, maybe 20,000 for you, maybe 25,000. So eventually what happens is that is where I say that it is 4 to 5 to 8 hours a day that you are working on something that will make your career intentional and direction will be useful. So that the second part that I said is about choose hard work over this smart work thing. A lot of people will give you this churan that you do smart work and all. किसी को पता नहीं है smart work क्या होता है. I am part of many such forums where everybody talks about smart work, smart work, smart work. When does smart work start? Smart work starts after you have done hard work. So you don't know. Only when you do some hard work, you will figure out how to do that thing. And then when you know how to do that thing, you can do it smarter. Nobody is born smart. You don't start smart first day one, right? Some people may be more genius, but leave them out, right? They are not in this call. Or we are normal people, right? So all of us are normal people. So normal people have to work a little harder. So don't fall for this topic of smart work. That is that is only selling books and seminars and some courses and all. Nobody's working smart. Everybody has to work hard. At least the normal 99.99% people have to work hard. No choice. So that was point number 2. First was choose direction over destination. Second is choose smart work. Choose hard work over smart work. Now as you get deeper, third is mastery. So pick one topic for at least your primary career and then build mastery in that career. So many people reach out to me that I am an expert in operational excellence and quality and all. That happens today, maybe for last 5-10 years. Right? I was elected a fellow of the American Society for Quality in 2013 or so. So around that time, people started acknowledging that I had some experience. But by the time I had 20 years of experience in that field, so I had already delivered quite a bit. But people will see that final outcome. People will obviously not see the process, which is where the brick by brick thing comes in, which people now introduce me as a brick by brick guy. The meaning of that is that nobody is watching the bricks being laid. People are watching or looking at the wall. So keep building your wall. Lay bricks. Don't wait for that recognition, acknowledgement, because that is not again in your control. You don't know when that stage will be reached where somebody will say, okay, yeah, I can see some names. I don't have my glasses, but let's say Gaurav, I can read. Gaurav has reached a stage and Gaurav is a fantastic person and he's achieved this and that and all. But nobody saw how much hard work and years of toil Gaurav was putting in, right? So, but that responsibility is only Gaurav's. he may want some sympathy. He may want. Sorry, Gaurav, I'm picking on you, but I just needed a name. Your name is right in front. So nobody was with Gaurav when he was working hard. Nobody was with him when he was failing, when he was falling, when he was injured, when he was recovering. Take a sports person journey right now, Rishabh Pant's journey. Who knew that he will be able to come back? Everybody, or many of us might have thought that his career is over, and the injury was very, very difficult, particularly for that kind of a sport. Very, very difficult. But very 2, 3 people were with him in that journey. Now everybody is clapping and saying, fantastic, fantastic. But that's how life is, right? So your job is to build the wall. Other people is job is to appreciate the wall, and you are the other people in other people's life also, right? So if somebody else is building that wall, you are the person who will acknowledge when the wall is showing. So keep building that wall. Don't look for acknowledgement and other things, because that is not in your control. आपके पे control पे नहीं है. So these 3 principles I always talk about. There are a couple of other principles, and then we will take question. So direction over destination, and hard work over smart work, and then of course building brick by brick. In every profession there are bricks to be laid, so don't think too much about it. The second area I talk about is about transitions. So maybe if you are interested, some of you might be interested in transitions, so I'll explain a little bit about transitions. That's the very most common question I get. One is so familiar with Venn diagrams? How many are familiar with Venn diagrams? Anybody not familiar with Venn diagrams? I can't hear, Anurag.
Familiar with it.
Okay, you are familiar.
We are familiar. Sir.
No, please pen diagram, please.
I will explain. I think Dr. Renu,
Yeah.
you are saying something because you are on mute. I can't hear you. Anyway, let me explain. So, moving on. So, Venn diagram is a general mathematical concept, general logical concept, actually not even mathematical, where you use a concept of circles to demonstrate that this is one set of uh, instances and another set of instances. What is the overlap or interaction between them? So, as you may have seen many diagrams in papers and all, if number of people driving a car, number of people smoking, right? What is the intersections? Which means that many people are smoking while driving a car. Right? I'm giving a very, oversimplified example. In your field, many of you are CAs, number of people CAs, number of people CS, but there will be one interaction which will say some people are CA and CS. Right? So those circles, and the diagram is commonly known as Venn diagram. So Venn diagram is named after the logical scientist Venn, Joseph Venn, who created this diagram. Yeah, Ikigai is one type of diagram, but it's not really a Venn diagram. It does convey some logic, but it is within a circle, right? So it is just a demonstration or illustration of a concept, not really a Venn diagram. So anyway, when you move from one career to another career, what you're doing is that you are taking a risk. So there is a risk, and so there are in general 3 types of moves. One is intersection, which means what you do today and what you will do tomorrow. There is a small intersection, 10-20%. Right? In this case, you are taking a bigger risk because you are moving from something to something where only 10-20%, 30% overlap, the intersection is there, which means you'll have to learn something new. There is a bigger risk. You might be getting more salary also. This role might be available in your own company and so on. The other type is overlap, where you take a role which is 50% or more similar to your current role. If you take a 50% or more role which is similar to your current role, then it is overlap because you don't have to work very hard. You already know the things. There is very little risk, very high chance that you may not be rewarded very heavily because you are not taking too much of a risk. Right? So many of it. And the third area is adjacent, which basically means that you are picking a completely different field. So you are a radio jockey today and become a completely different, maybe yoga gurus tomorrow. It may not be much similarity, but you have skills in that area and you become that kind of a person. Or you are a sports person and then, after retirement, take a job in something completely different, which is adjacent. The skill sets are adjacent, but not complementary. Right. So when you look at intentional career, sometimes you have to look at these kind of concepts as well. Right. So I thought these were the 3-4 topics that will help you in the scope of intentional career. And since Shivani ji had asked me to speak about the SHINE framework, I will take 5 minutes to introduce that, and then maybe we can take questions, including the question that somebody had asked about medical. But the SHINE concept. So those of you who are familiar with my work on LinkedIn and YouTube might have heard of this concept that I talk about, SHINE, right? Which is spelled as SHINE. Now, SHINE, I developed this concept over the last 3-4 years, maybe about 5 years, when I started coaching people one-on-one on their career issues. And so most of the issues I found were coming related to, I am struggling at work, this is not happening, this person is against me, and mid-career issues, didn't get promotion, and all those kind of things. So slowly a pattern started emerging. Since I'm a quality professional, I started noticing a pattern. So pattern means you have at least 3 data points in the same direction. Many of you from science background will understand that. So then I started noticing that the advice that I was giving, or that the coaching that I was sharing, also had a pattern. So the problems had a pattern and my advice also had a pattern. Uh, Initially, I was very worried that, ye kya baat hai? People are coming to me with their issues and I'm giving them same paracetamol, whether they have headache or knee ache or stomach ache, ye to galat hai. So I was very upset with myself. Then I started realizing, and I spoke to some people. I also have a coach, and I figured out that actually it is not a bad thing. This means that this pattern exists in the society, and all I am doing is to respond to that existing pattern. So therefore, my advice is also a pattern. So it's not actually a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, because if the problem exists in patterns, the solution can also exist in patterns. So this was one of the patterns that I saw, that much of the advice that I was giving to mid-career professionals was forming a set of 5 areas. And when I started looking at that, and I've spoken now to over 500 people, so including some in companies that I've worked with, spoken as in proper coaching conversations, right? So then I noticed that there are these 5 sets of things that I speak about, and that acronym became SHINE. So now, what is SHINE? So S is for socially fluid. Right? So socially fluid means, for you to shine in your mid-career, you need some social fluidity. So you are left in a room. Can you interact with others? Can people interact with you? How open you are? Right? This does not mean extrovert and introvert. उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है. You can be an introvert, but you can be very socially fluid, because you understand the value of being socially fluid. Fluid मतलब, you blend, you बह जाता है पानी की तरह. तो आप कहीं पे पानी छोड़ देंगे तो वो फैल जाएगा, right? Which means you are socially, you can blend into a room. Any room that you go to, you will blend, right? This may need your worldview, this may need speaking skills, this may need social skills, this may need listening skills, many things, right? But eventually the result is that if I think Hiraniji is there or Anurag is there. I can see some on my screen. Limited people are there because there are multiple screens. I'm on phone. But if they go to a room, they immediately blend in the room. people, it almost feels like, oh, I know this person. Or they also feel that I know this person. I have met him or her, right? Reality may be that this may be the first meeting, but that familiarity is there. So that kind of setup is called socially fluid approach. And please remember, a lot of times the decision about you, um, so those who are in corporate careers, not everybody might be, at least people in corporate careers, the decision about your career is being made in a room where you are not invited. Let me say this clearly. Decision about your career, right, including the in-year and multi-year career, is being made in a room where you are never invited. So you have no chance of defending yourself or projecting yourself, or and आपको पता भी नहीं है कि क्या हो रहा है उसमें. So you can feel bad about it, you can feel good about it, you can feel indifferent. जो करना है कर लो, किसी को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, because that is how the corporate world exists. So you need somebody to bat for you in that meeting. आप तो नहीं है, तो who will talk about you in that meeting? कोई तो होना चाहिए, right? If more than one, the better, right? So those people are the people whom you have been socially fluid with, who understand you, who connect with you. Otherwise, why will they talk about you? Right? And there is always competition. Any promotion, any role change, any salary change, there is always competition. 100 रुपए हैं, बांटने हैं 4 लोगों में. So I will give more to somebody whom I know, I understand, I believe in, I trust, or he or she also trusts in me. Right? मैं उस खड़ूस आदमी को क्यों दूंगा जो कोने में बैठा रहता है, कुछ नहीं करता है, पता नहीं चलता है, why will I give? So this is how corporate reality works. You may think you are deserving, उसका कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So number one, S is socially fluid. H is hard work. So socially fluid, hard work. H is hard work. Hard work means hard work तो करना ही करना है. Right? 99.99% आपको हार्ड वर्क करना है. तो मैंने पहले भी समझाया that this smart work and all comes after hard work. Once you have figured out what to do, then you can become better at it. So आप, even making tea, for example, as simple as that, initially it is very, very difficult. कब चीनी कितना डालना है, पत्ती कितना डालना है, दूध कितना डालना है, everything seems like a magic thing. कि कैसे बनेगा, and 10 times you make, 10 times it will taste different, but slowly you get at it, and then you will find that when you make tea you don't even realize time उतना ही लग रहा है, right? चाय तो जल्दी नहीं बन रही है ना, time उतना ही लग रहा है, but you are able to do it smartly because then during that time you are able to do one or two other things also, which makes you smarter. That similar to driving a car. When you drive a car, पहले वो you are looking for the gear shift, you are even looking at where is the accelerator, where is the brake, everything you are looking at, people will look at the road like this, and all those kind of things happen, right? So I'm sure everybody, including me, everybody has been through that. Once you figure out, you go 20 kilometers, you don't even remember anything in that 20 kilometer. Right? So what happened? Because you have done the hard work, now you can do the smart work. Right? So H is for hard. I is for intellect or problem solving capability. If you are not solving problems in your company, you will be sidelined. You may be the smartest person around, most socially fluid, but if you are not solving problems, particularly in mid-career, your job is to solve some problems. Company has some problems day to day, week to week, month to month. If your manager has some issues, if you are not helping your manager, that will be a very, very difficult situation. So please keep in mind that I, which means intellect, you need some intelligence to solve these problems. Don't shy away from problems. If some manager is giving you problems, then he or she believes in you, trusts in you that you might be able to solve. So don't shy away from that ये रोज problem दे देता है यार. So the रोज problem दे देता है because he or she is seeing some sign that you may be able to solve that. It is a blessing. There are people who are not given a problem because they कुछ नहीं होता है उनसे, उनको you can give them anything and they will not do one thing. So what do you prefer? You prefer to be in the category who can solve problems, right? So N is for numbers, whatever may be your career, whether you are in marketing, medicine, quality like me, CA, there are some numbers. There are some things to be done every day. There are some things to be done every week, some things to be done every month, some numbers to be met, right? So those always focus. Every profession has some numerical translation. So please don't miss those numerical translations. I call it numbers. Nobody fires a person who's meeting their numbers. I'm dramatizing it, but nobody will fire, right? And firing, because these days firing is in season, so I'm using a seasonal word. But and I've been firing people more recently, so I relate to it. But nobody really fires a person who is meeting their number, except exceptional circumstances. So if you meet your number, uh, nobody does. Last is E. Any guesses what will be E? Now you get the idea. SHIN तक तो हो गया. तो E क्या है?
Empathy.
Empathy. Very good.
Empathy.
Very good. One. Anyone
Excellence.
else?
Excellence.
Emotional
Excellence.
intelligence.
Emotional. Okay. और कोई है?
EQ, emotional quotient.
Experience.
Emotional
Excellence.
quotient.
Experience.
Experience.
Fantastic.
Endurance.
Experience is good, but experience तो ये सब करके everything will be included in that. But good one.
Excellence.
I think maybe earning.
No. Experience. I like, some of this empathy, emotional quotient, emotion. So there is all of this is merging into something called emotional fluidity, right? So there is a fantastic book. If some of you are interested in reading a book by Susan David called Emotionally Fluid, right? So now emotionally fluid means in a long career, you will have many setbacks. You will fall down. When you are learning cycle, you so many times fall down and so on. But as a kid, you don't have a problem. You get up, dust off the, whatever dirt and all, and then again try. But when we grow older, we lose that emotional fluidity, because we are looking at other people and what दुनिया क्या होगा, लोग क्या बोलेंगे, बीवी क्या बोलेगी, पति क्या बोलेगा, all those things become important. So emotional fluidity means that how do you manage your fall? How quickly you are able to come back and go from there, because that's the most important aspect. So many of you said empathy and emotional quotient and those kind of things, and that's what basically is the thing. So these 5 areas are what I found were the common pattern in the advice that I was giving to most of the people who are coming to me. And this could be extremely useful to you, because when you look at all of this, what you see is firstly, somebody has a question. I missed that question. I think the question was about the book. Is that?
Author, yeah. Author's name.
Susan David. यहाँ पढ़ा होगा. I can't find the book quickly, but it's here somewhere.
We will Google, sir. Don't worry.
Susan David, PhD, fantastic author.
Yes, Susan David.
So, and she now has an online course also, a wellness course, but book is really well written. The concept itself is brilliant, that in a long career, ऐसे, you will have setbacks. Anyway, we are almost at 7:45. So these were the few concepts that I wanted to share from an intentional career point of view, that you have to keep doing. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult to, get ahead in your career. And these days, almost every field, every career is affected by downturn and economic slowdown and so on. So, Shivani ji and Hirani ji, I can take some questions. These were the key points that I had prepared for this talk today. I don't know whether
Wonderful,
this
sir.
fits.
Yeah, definitely you can take the Q&A from the audience, so it will be more interactive.
Bilkul. I can see one hand up, Gaurav.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So first of all, thank you, Anshuman sir. It is really, really helpful. Hope I'm audible. Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
Okay. First is, of course, when I saw your profile and 61K follower, and I can see mine is not yet reached 2K followers. So I think I need to learn a lot. I was thinking this way, getting
ये
inspired.
सब मोह माया है सब.
No,
Don't
that's the reason
think
I'm
of
saying.
followers.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
are people
not
with
true.
6 million followers. तो अब क्या करें? तो
No.
हाँ.
FOMO nahi hai. That's the reason I said inspired because of seeing your journey. So, and when someone is LinkedIn top wise also and so much experience, yes, great to hear, I will say. And intentional career because I'm very good, passionate, and I'm a supply chain guy, procurement guy. And in last 3 years, I was very much focused on my career, and consistency paid off. Like when I got 3 promotion in my company in 18 months from manager to get the India lead role. So I saw that consistency pays. So whichever you said, people of course say smart work, smart goals, and all. And even I am a firm believer. Hard work only can when you structured way, then it becomes looks like smart to others. But yeah,
Correct.
hard work is the backbone. So my question to you that how to be work on more intensely on your visibility. Like I will just say 2 points on industry visibility. Like I do go to the many forum as speaker, as moderator, as a panelist. Of course, I am intentional on my LinkedIn, which I was not in past. In company, of course, you rightly said the numbers because I'm a procurement guy, so always deliver the great numbers. So all those things I'm doing. I'm very vulnerable, emotionally intelligent, and have great team. So all these things are working. Any advice which you feel to become more visible in industry can be done.
Sure. I think that's a very good question. I almost have been tempted sometimes to include visibility in the Shine framework, but वो Shine में जम नहीं रहा है. That we is not coming. So maybe I'll put it something like we shine or something, but or find some other word. But it's a very important point. I am one of those people who grew up thinking that if we do good work, the world will take notice. Right? That is, a little bit of a Hindu Vedanta Sanatan philosophy in some way. That if you do, आप कर्म करते जाइए, दुनिया आपको किसी दिन देखेगी. But जीवन में ऐसा होता नहीं है. So particularly when so much competition is there and so many people are doing same or similar thing, कुछ एक there is some importance for being visible, right? So that is point number one. So I am a convert. I moved away from that thinking and philosophy and realized that unless you do some of these things, nobody will notice because there are so many distractions for people also. Or you might be so brilliant, so amazing that, the world will notice. That might happen, but, most of us who on Saturday, 7 a.m. are spending time in something like this may not be in that 0.0001%, right? So we are normal people, right? And normal is good. So all of us are normal career, everything. So visibility बहुत important है. You shared an example of followers and all that. All that is a result of when 5-6 years ago, I started focusing on that I need to become a little bit more visible. And I'll be very honest, this is a small group, so I will be extra honest. I am 52 now. That time I was around late 40s, 50 or so. So I realized that I wanted to work till I was 75. But I'm a corporate employee, so at 60, whether I like it or not, I'll be kicked out. And most likely I'll be kicked out before 60. Because most companies will realize that, oh, now this fellow is a cost, we can reduce cost, give chance to somebody younger, and so on. That happens to everybody, right? So I may not have the chance to work till 60. So I will approximately have 20 more years to do something else. So what will I do? And I'll give one more statistic that in the year 2000, only 25 years ago, the average age at mortality, which means average age at death of an Indian, was 62 years. This includes all male, female, gaon, desh, shahar, sab kuch, everything, all included. 62 years. Next year, which is 2025, this average age is expected to be 72. In 25 years, a nation has added 10 years to its population. So we are adding the population. जो आ रही है वो तो आ ही रही है. हम भी जिंदा रहेंगे 10 साल और. This is unprecedented. Never in recorded history, in any nation's recorded history, the average age at mortality, which is the average age at death, the mortality थोड़ा सा fashionable लगता है. वही है. When we die, what is our average age for all of India is going to be 72 years. So we have gained 10 years within a 25-year period. 33%, 30% gain, right?
Yes.
कैसे संभलेगा? Nothing is so. आज जो हम problem देख रहे हैं, lot of unemployment and related issues and all these issues. This is one of the root causes of that. That the demographics has changed dramatically. So normally 25 साल में 2-3 साल 1-2 साल ऐसे ऐसे बढ़ता है. We have 10 years added, right? So as a result, lot of people are available, and you will have a lot of competition. So anyway, so that brings me to the point that इतनी भीड़ में तो आपको visibility तो चाहिए ही चाहिए. Now, how to build some visibility? 2-3 areas. One, of course, you have to understand that you cannot fundamentally change who you are. So आप अगर normally शांत स्वभाव के हैं तो you will remain that. If you are normally a little bit more outspoken, you will remain that. So you have to find a comfort space within that. So if you are generally a quieter person, don't like to talk and all, then LinkedIn is a perfect place because you can say something and keep quiet, and others will be there. You don't have to be generally outspoken there. But if you're a conference type, then you might want to go to conference. With the advent of social media and related method, becoming visible is a little easier. But the problem is that it is easy for everybody. So फिर वही problem that everybody can do that. So which means you have to find a way within that also. So like I did, I started writing. I picked one topic, 2 topics actually: operational excellence and career advice. And I stayed true to these 2 topics. So I don't write on anything else. Very, very exceptional. Something happens here and there, I will write, but I don't right. I write only on these 2 topics, and I share whatever I share. My YouTube videos also on the same topic. Nothing changes. Reason being that when you keep doing this, people see you as a person with authority, credibility in that space. Right. So वो visibility जो आपने पूछा गौरव जी, that starts coming, and that's the only way. Remain consistent on a topic and keep sharing your knowledge and advice. Very important words on online are knowledge and advice. You are a mid-career person, slightly senior. Nobody is looking for you for entertainment advice. People who look for you for knowledge and advice. तो आप कोई knowledge दे सकते हैं या कुछ advice दे सकते हैं, then you would belong to that room. Otherwise आप करो जो कर रहे हैं, supply chain and procurement and all that, आप मस्त रहो वहाँ पे. So knowledge and advice is extremely important. So whatever you are sharing, उसको package करो knowledge and advice. So from your procurement field, if you are giving some procurement related knowledge,
Yeah.
let us say
Like
some metric that you
negotiation I started doing. Yeah.
तो उसको रैपर पहनाओ that this is a knowledge that you are sharing or an advice that you are sharing. तो 2 ही टाइप का चलता है. उससे आपको विजिबिलिटी मिलेगी, फिर लोग आपको बुलाएंगे इन सम अदर सेशन. शिवानी एंड हिरानी जी विल कॉल यू इंस्टेड ऑफ मी. तो दैट सेशन विल बी मच बेटर. इनवाइट मी, आई विल अटेंड दैट.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, very clear.
So there was one question when we started, medical kuch doctor kuch tha. I forgot that. So I don't want to miss that question because somebody started at the beginning. Who had that question? Maybe
I
they've
don't
dropped off.
remember the name, but it was something around that his daughter was.
No, but if he is
but
not in the call, then no problem
Yeah.
addressing.
2-3 people have raised the hand.
हाँ, जिन्होंने हाथ खड़ा किया उनका
Okay.
पूछना. I just
Thank you.
remembered to that question था. Maybe उनको आंसर नहीं मिला तो नाराज हो गए, तो चल गए. No problem. So next, whoever is in queue,
Yeah. Can I go ahead? Kalpesh this side.
Yeah, please, please, please.
Okay. Thank you, Anshuman. Okay. It was very great आपको सुनने के लिए सुबह morning 7 a.m. and understanding the philosophy of nice shine and yes, okay. But sir, just एक question है कि मतलब like in today's world we says that smart works is more favorable as compared to the hard work, where all the technologies are coming in bringing, right? We have AI tools, we have more of the new inventions in the technologies. So how you will able to differ that? Don't you feel that the smart works is getting more marketable as compared to the hard work? If a person who is a smart who is a smart who can able to perform the work very quicker within the less time, he would be given more advantage as compared to one who is drilling down on daily basis, doing the same ad hoc work on regular basis as compared to the hard effort he's putting into it. Your views on those part? Thank you.
So while you did a very clever thing, Kalpesh, you explained the smart work very sharply, but you explained the other side very vaguely, right? So ये fallacy सबके साथ होती है. When we compare, we have a mind already made up of mind, and we compare a very sharply defined area with a very vaguely defined area. So, for example, I am just dissecting. This is no critique, Kalpesh. I am just dissecting your statement. So, when you defined smart work, it was very clear. But इसमें vague and you use all kinds of words to already demean hard work, right? So ऐसा नहीं होता है life में. In a long career, I have at least seen that hard work does not mean आप गधे की तरह रोज वही काम कर रहे हो. You know, there is no intention to it. There is no activity. Hard work means that you are dedicated, you are sincere, you finish your things, you do it properly, you are quality oriented, you do a good job. That is hard work, right? It does not mean mindless work, right? Of course, that also is there. Some people are there, and they are left behind in career. So, उनकी चिंता नहीं कर रहे हम. None of them are in this call, right? So, whereas the way I see smart work is that once you have worked hard enough, you understand that this is how it is done. Then you can become smarter. I'll give you an example, right? So you brought up AI and all these things, right? First of all, that is more a distraction, but anyway. So people are talking about this, you know, you can write a prompt and ChatGPT will give you an answer.
Correct.
Right? But आपको prompt लिखना तो आना चाहिए ना? This is knowledge is available with everybody that prompt लिखो और ChatGPT answer दे देगा. But कितने आदमी लिख रहे हैं? The actual user base of ChatGPT is a fraction of the number of people who have signed up. Right? People who use even one prompt a day is a very, very small fraction of the people who signed up. Signing up is easy. आपके Gmail से connect हो जाएगा, sign up हो गया, fantastic. फिर आप किसी conference में जाएंगे, बोलेंगे कि I use ChatGPT. आप ChatGPT तो use नहीं कर रहे हैं because you for the last 2 weeks you have not given even one prompt. So sometimes we fall for this hype and all. I totally agree that smart work is important. Eventually, progress will happen because of smart work. Right? You, me, many other people will do something smarter because we have now worked hard and understood how a particular thing happens. Once you understand that, then you can. In my field, there is something called automation. Right? So many of you might be aware, robotic process automation. The best automations are of the processes which are done manually and people understand. So those people can create a robo for that automation. Manually पता नहीं है कैसे होता है. There are so many ifs and buts. ऐसे भी हो सकता है, ऐसे भी हो सकता है, वैसे भी हो सकता है. So how will you automate it? Right? So you need then people. So smart work. I am not saying smart work is not important or it is useless or other things. All I'm saying is that hard work comes before smart work. That's all. So you are right that smart work is required, but hard work comes before smart work. तो अगर आपके बच्चे हैं
Yes.
तो
Yes.
हाँ तो प्लीज डोंट गेट लेट देम. हमारा तो हो गया जो हो गया, बट बच्चों को समझाना बहुत जरूरी है that please 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 learn the value of hard work. Once you start liking hard work, you will find smart work. आप कुछ ना कुछ सब everybody भगवान ने कुछ ना कुछ दिया है. We will find something to make it smarter. But
So
पहले दिन से
can
कोई
we?
स्मार्ट नहीं होता है.
Yeah, I do understand. So can we conclude like that? We should have an analogy between means like there should be a combination of smart plus hard work in the current competitive world. if you want to survive and move ahead.
As long as you are working hard before you are thinking of smart work, I am fine with any statement you give.
Okay.
वो order बहुत जरूरी है. That
Yeah.
hard work comes before smart work. Whether you have combination, you have 90, 10, 60, 40, 30, 70, आपकी मर्जी. It may depend on areas also. In some professions there may be more need for this and all that. So, but hard work always comes before smart work. That's all I would say.
Anshuman sir, are you okay if I share one example of hard work and smart work?
Please. मेरे
And
आपकी call है.
don't request everyone not to judge me as I'm doing any self orientation, but I'm sharing mine only. 3 years back, I joined one career coach, and my intention was to get promotion. So, and I joined their leadership course. And after I was asking a lot of questions, I was so much curious guy at that time. So 1 year, I just surrendered to process. Whatever he said, make your 30, 60, 90 days, I was making. He said, put your articulation, frame of reference, everything I did that. And slowly, I realized that things are getting changed in me. It is part of my life. So it was totally hard work. Every week, 20 hours I was putting. And now it's 3 years. And in 3 years, I didn't realize when I become a co-mentor. Mentor had made me co-mentor award also. He made me for Hall of Fame because I got many promotions. So suddenly what happened that I realized I was just putting hard work. Then it put a structure behind it. Now I not people are coming to me all director, VP. Whenever they come for advice, I am directing to other guys, not answering all the time. It is a smart work. I'm diverting, not putting all of my time on these things. So it is a hard work which later on turned to smart work in a structured way. Yeah. So
Very
that is
good.
my
I think
Very good.
fantastic. Yeah. Thank you,
Sir,
Gaurav.
Thanks,
Nick.
Gaurav. Thanks.
one thing
Thanks
is
for
that,
sharing that.
that if you don't put a hard work in any of your work, you cannot become better in it. Then how will you take the work from others? How will you do the smart work and how will you get it from others also? Because smart work is
Right.
getting work done from others, delegating very nicely or proficiently.
Yeah.
To be proficient, you have to do some hard work first, undoubtedly.
No, very good point. I see one or two more hands, but it's a very small screen for me. So I think
Anurag is the
Gaurav,
one. I believe
Anurag,
Anurag is
yes.
Anurag,
We can't
Anurag,
hear you, Anurag.
you sound fantastic on mute.
there.
Can you hear me?
हाँ
Yeah,
अभी बहुत
now we
faint
can.
है, but
Put my mic closer to. So first of all, thanks Shivani for organizing this session. So good.
Sorry, Anurag, your voice is a bit low. Maybe without mic, it will be better. Can you hear me now?
हाँ अभी fantastic.
Yeah, audible. Good.
Okay. So first of all, thank you, Shivani, for organizing this wonderful session. Great to have
Most welcome and
Anshuman
good
ji
to
on
see
the
you.
session. Yeah, so Shivani was my, we cleared our CA together. So I know Shivani since a long time, but we were not in touch for almost 15 years. So it's good to have in touch with, my old friend. And I was following Anshuman ji on LinkedIn for quite some time. And suddenly when I saw that, Shivani is organizing a session where Anshuman ji is joining. So it was like a, wow moment. So I should join this. So I feel very, privileged to have this morning, getting some time on good discussion. So Anshuman ji, just to give my brief journey here. So I am a chartered accountant, and when I was studying in school, I always wanted to become a CA. And I would say, because you talked about hard work, smart work, so I did a lot of hard work to become a CA, and I achieved that. After that, my next aim was to be part of a big four company. So I got an opportunity to work in PwC. I worked there for many years. And after working there, I thought that, I should try move to a corporate ladder. So I joined multiple corporates, worked in many companies. And then my aim was to become a CFO in the company. So that also by God grace and all the hard work, I was able to achieve that, after 10 years of my experience. And last 5 years, I'm heading the CFO position in my company.
So because this topic of this today's session is about building a intentional career. So I feel privileged that, so far, whatever targets I have set, I have achieved that long back. I mean, my last objective was to become a CFO. That also I achieved 5 years back. Okay. So now I feel that, I am in a pyramid. I reached the top. And I can say that, I am in a company which is not very big. It is like up to 250 crores of turnover and a MNC company. But what should be the, further course? आगे क्या करना चाहिए? It's like, I reached to the top of the pyramid. There is no room. So should I change to different pyramid, bigger pyramid, or, should I change my path? I go to some different, field or some expertise, or do some other work. So what is your advice? I mean, people like me, get stuck when they reach to the top, and I am like at a plateau where I cannot move further.
Maybe this is the irony, right? If you don't get it, you want to achieve there, and when you reach there, you think, what's my next? So sometimes it's better to be average out rather than exception on either side. So maybe that's fine. Yeah, back to you, sir.
No, no, well said. I think so. Firstly, congratulations, Anurag, on a very good career. But this is one of the point that we should get to your destination a little faster than what you planned or what others have done. आप दौड़ना तो नहीं बंद कर सकते. So then you enter a different race, and that different race could be many things. I can't speak for you, but you may have your own motivations, but you could be looking for a bigger company, slightly different role. Why stop at CFO? Why not CEO? So many other things, right? So if you are somebody like me, I've been very keen to write a book for some time. और अब लगता है कि कुछ लोग खरीद भी लेंगे. About 5 years ago, I would have written a book and nobody would have bought. But today, I think I have, because of other factors, it seems this goal might be worthwhile. So you also may have something like this. You gave your answer yourself that you may want to change your race, you may want to change your pyramid and all that. That is how that's how life is. So you get to something, and either you change the race or you run longer, and so on. So I've been, for example, as head of quality and operational excellence in a large company for last 10 odd years. So I changed 2 companies in that process because I realized that I was good at that role and I would be preferred in that role. So changing company was one way of staying into what I like to do. Since you seem to be very interested in CA, CFO, or that space, you may want to change your organization and go for a bigger organization with more complex organization. May not be bigger, but more complex organization. Because eventually you will want to get better in your field. How will you get better in your field? Only when you do something more difficult than what you are doing today. Because what you used to do 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year is now easy. You might be doing it much easier than because you have now figured out. Right? So complexity come ho jata hai with time. So add complexity by changing organization or changing your role in the company and so on. That is what usually people do. I can't specifically talk about you, but that's what people usually do. आप भी try करो. And thank you for your kind words at the beginning. It's always good to meet somebody has been reading your work. So thank you.
Thank you,
So I
Anshuman ji,
would
for having.
thank you, Anshuman ji. I would like to add here. Now it's time to first of all shift your mindset, Anurag. I would say, and never think that I have reached the top. Maybe you have reached the top of your career part of thing, but still there might be people those who inspire you to go ahead and do like them. So check out what interests you. So this is a right time for you to find your ikigai, what is your passion, what are you passionate about, and go for a little bit of self-realization, um, go for your own growth, what you can do, what you can contribute to the world. So because when we read this Maslow's hierarchy, so it's when we are satisfied with our own things, now the time comes for contribution and reaching to the top of the pyramid. So this
Yeah,
is what I would.
good advice, Shivani. And I think I should take some mentorship from you also. You are also doing good job writing the books.
Definitely get in touch
But I could
and
not
will.
imagine a person being a CA, start writing books and do something which is, unconventional. So great job, Shivani.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll connect offline.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shailesh ji, please go ahead.
Yeah, I had to wait a lot to put up. Anshuman ji, we are from the same city. I'm little senior to you. I'm from Nagpur, LIT Nagpur, 1988 batch, BTech Chemical Engineering. And no, you said ki you
So
should.
we are just this much far.
Hello?
We have this, we are just this much far.
Okay, yeah.
Because I belong to Kanpur and Nagpur is only this much far.
Okay. Yeah, I have seen his profile. Means even though generally, like when Shivani announced the thing, I go through the LinkedIn profile, and I go through the LinkedIn very rigorously. But unfortunately, I have not seen. But during the lecture, I have seen that, and he has done industrial engineering, which was a very good subject. I liked it like anything. And to tell you, little brief on my side. After chemical engineering, I had done my master's from ISC Bangalore in School of Automation. At MTech, that program now is called Artificial Intelligence. Unfortunately, I didn't build a career on that. It was a too new course there, and then I didn't even apply that. But definitely, I found I am lacking in the computer science skills. So I done hard work. I had done lectureship in the engineering college, learned the computer science subject, then went to National Chemical Laboratory and done the work which I had not studied, computer network, establish one of the best chemical information systems in NCL in 1996. I proudly say NCL has his own email before the TCS has. Means we were connected to the international system of the chemist and all those things. So we through the internet we used to have that, and then we have ncl.oris.in and all that was there. Then slowly we developed the good information systems in the chemical science. Then other CSR laboratory, we are the part of the CSR. In Bangalore, we have the National Aerospace Laboratory. We develop the scientific information systems for various subject domains. We subscribe most of them. And over that, the NKN services, which is now everywhere in every university, has that. I had the opportunity to work with, not very closely, but in the vicinity of Dr. Mashelkar, Dr. Ashok Kolaskar, who are the pioneer in their field in the chemical research. Ashok Kolaskar was my boss, friend, and he was the chairman of the NKN, and a lot of things were done. But my question is basically, over a period of time, NCL, like a versatility, different domains are there. I had done chemical science, I had done IT, I had done networking, then I had done the backward integration of establishing a unit right from the scratch. So I see I had the various islands of the specializations. In my 30 years of career, maybe 7-8 years in each of the field, and then I had that. So my thinking is, as Dr. Anshuman ji has done, I have already started thinking of my post-retirement after things. I want to do the mentorship and also involve in the startup things. Now, what advice will be there for the people who, the young kids who want to put up their own startups, group of 4 or 5 people and coming up that, and I want to mentor them basically. So how your framework will be related to that? I just want to have comment from him.
So, firstly, Sajji, I think fantastic career. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank
One
you.
key point is that the framework I shared, Shine, is more for mid-career success. So it may not be as it is applicable to everything. Like all frameworks, every framework has some limitation and
Yeah.
where it can go. Secondly, on mentoring and related topic, I think it will be best to, when you start mentoring, you will find and build your own framework, because that is something that you will be very convinced about, right? I had no plan. For example, I had no plan of talking about the Shine framework today. In my notes, it was not included. But as I was speaking, I realized some vibes in the room that it might be helpful to some of you. So I started sharing. And I didn't need any notes because that is my own framework. I have developed it. I have written
No, it
about
was
it.
wonderful. It is a wonderful framework, sir. It is wonderful framework.
Thank you for that. But the reason I'm giving that example is that if it is your own concept and framework, you will anytime be able to share it. So during mentoring, it will be very important. Third, now to come to this, why would somebody want to come to you for being mentoring? So you have to ask that hard question. Why will somebody want to come to you? सोचने से नहीं होगा ना, मतलब why will somebody? Of course, you have a lot of credential, but I'm only saying that please try and write down why will somebody want to come to you and which type of people will come to you for what needs. Once you have that why, what, and how, then you can start approaching people, or people will approach you slowly over a period of time. That's how most of these things work. For example, I am now advisor to IHM, the Institute of Hospitality Management startup. They have a proper fund for that. So why did that happen? Because over the years, last few years, I've been able to guide some people in that space. So आप शुरू एक से करो, फिर दिए से दिया जलेगा. Don't think of the destination like I said, because you don't know the destination. So you know the direction. So आप एक दो से शुरू करो. I think your own method will emerge. Don't think too much about framework. Don't think too much about where you will land and all those things. Find one, right? Find one and then help them and see if it is helping. Maybe it is not for you. Maybe it is you are not in that space. Maybe something else is waiting for you. So that is something I tell everybody who wants to get in this coaching mentoring space, that start with one and then see whether it works for you. It may not be for you, or it may be fantastic for you. So simple advice, find one and help them. Don't look at 10.
No, statistically, I can start with 2, means at least one should be success.
ऐसा कुछ
I
नहीं
can do
है.
that. I can do that.
Both can be success, both can be failure. So don't put that pressure of success and failure, because then you will start thinking in other terms. If you're guiding somebody, guide them for hard work, keeping the journey, staying with the process, doing the right things, not outcome. The outcome though is not in control of anybody. So
no, over the smart work and the hard work, I just want to share things. When I was at my earlier life stage, I used to rigorously evaluate the products. I was evaluating the hardware things, developing the infrastructure. So I used to do a lot of deeper things in that. And after doing with one product line, then I used to talk to the other people. Now, smartly, what I do is basically, I know what to purchase basically. I call the product specialist of the 3-4 big companies, ask them, this is the thing I want and this is the solution I want, and get a lateral learning quickly within weeks, 2 weeks time, and then I have the solution to my problem basically. So I very quickly do it basically.
You gave an example, because you've done the hard work, now you are smart about it. So
yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shailesh ji.
Yeah.
और कोई question है?
नहीं सर, अभी कुछ नहीं है. I will connect you offline, sir.
Sure.
It is always we can take only the next possible step and stay focused on that. And your second next step depends on many factors, including the outcome of your very first step. This is what I learned, and it is so true.
Yeah.
And Shivani ji, I'm
Yeah.
maybe one of the very odd men out in this, in the ocean of chartered accountant and anything. I'm a scientist who basically do the research management, basically. I'm not a hardcore scientist. I am basically in the research management field. I look to the
Whatever
scientist. Yeah.
field you are, this applies to each and everything we do in life.
Yeah.
Be it your research work, be it anything. Focus on one thing at a time and go forward with the very next step that you can do towards it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I think there are a couple of
Thank you.
questions still pending, Shivani. So,
We just I would like to inquire whether you have time or have some
no,
meeting.
I am guilty of coming late to this session. So I
No,
have a
no issues.
responsibility.
You are on time. Just in case you
No,
have time, we can take a few more
I will.
questions.
I'll carry that guilt for a few days. It's
No,
been
no
years that
need. So start living regret-free life.
there काफी साल हो गए that I have been
Everything
late to
happens for a
any
reason.
meeting. So this meeting I will
Yeah.
remember mostly for one reason, that I was late, and my way of
Don't
working
be.
on it is that
You have delivered exceptionally well, and
So,
1 or
surely,
2 minutes, if it is a internet glitch or something like that, it happens.
कोई बात नहीं.
Shiva,
Don't be guilty about it. Yeah,
it's
please.
like it's a universe message that more people can listen to Anshuman sir at the start itself.
Right.
That's
Thank you. अच्छा ठीक है, दो जो रह गए हैं, I think गौरव
Right. Gaurav ji,
लुला.
please go ahead.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yes. Firstly, thank you so much, sir and ma'am, for organizing this session. So, incredibly grateful for the knowledge I've gained throughout the session. So, basically, I'm a CA final aspirant, and somewhat my journey has come to a halt because of my personal and family reasons. I have not been able to, since COVID times, I have not been able to focus on my education, on my CA career well. I mean, I have been a good student all my life. I have always been a scholar, and now somehow that mental blockage or whatever I can say, it's come to a stand halt. I can't move forward. There's a lot of distractions, and I'm trying, but I'm not able to succeed. So I would really appreciate if you could share some advice on this.
So you are in the CA field, better that some CA can give you advice, Gaurav. But my 2 cents, of course, are that I don't know the nature of your personal challenge, so I can't comment. But look, everybody is going through something, right? If you feel that somebody, even the duck that is swimming very calmly, the feet are actually paddling very, very hard. So इस call में everybody and anybody who will listen to this program later on also as a recording or on YouTube or wherever, everybody is going through some shit in life. Sorry to use that word, but the nature and intensity may vary. So I appreciate that, something more intense might be happening for you, but all of us have no choice but to pick up our pieces and move on. What would have happened to you has happened. You said you are a CA final aspirant, so I'm guessing you are in early 20s or around that age, or mid 20s at the most.
Sir, I'm
So
right. I'm 26 right now.
हाँ, so mid 20s. So that's
Yes.
what I said. So आपके पास पूरी life है आगे. What has happened and what could happen, everybody has some, misfortune in their life. आपका हो गया, right? Think of it this way. आपका quota हो गया. Rest of the life will be better, but you will have to work hard for it. कोई option नहीं है. I can assure you that if you feel that you have had a very difficult life, I appreciate that, but everybody in this call and later on, everybody around you also has had some
Challenge.
issue and sometimes continuous challenges, right? So यही लाइफ है. As long as we are alive, I keep saying this, that the only people who are 100% clear are the dead. So full clarity एक ही बारी में मिलेगी. बाद में तब तक तो everything is unclear, everything is difficult, everything is complicated, everything is if it is easy, then you are probably dreaming, you are sleeping.
Right,
So
sir. But I would like to add to this. Yeah, exactly what happens is I always affirm that yes, I want to continue, I want to strive through, and no matter what happens, I have to complete the course and achieve my degree. But when it comes to time, when time comes to take action, then I again start to uh, reconsider my decision every time, and that is a continuous loop I am stuck into. That decision making is there, but the action time of action, I always step back. I always fear what would happen, and that kind of.
So, Gaurav, for you,
Gaurav,
you
I
have
would,
that.
sorry, sir, I would like to interrupt here.
Sure, sure, sure. Go ahead.
Gaurav, you can get on a call with me and we'll have clarity on this part. You need to work on your mindset first, because you said you are not able to crack the CA exam. So what we can do is, first of all, let us talk and work upon your mindset. And once the mindset is set, you need to focus on what you are lacking. Where is that part? What is making you to stop taking action? What fear you are holding? Once you set aside in your mind that it can be done, we all here sitting here, we have gone through these stages, and when one person can do something, definitely anyone can do. So you need specific strategies to prepare, and it's very easy to clear. And just get in touch with us. You text me and I'll get on a call and clear your doubts.
Sure. Thank you so much, ma'am.
on this
Thank you,
part.
sir. Thank you.
One last thing I can say that, so जो पढ़ता नहीं है और अनपढ़, दोनों में कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है. Those who don't read and who can't read, there is no difference. So YouTube देखने से कोई स्विमिंग नहीं सीखता है.
Right.
So eventually आपको कुछ ना कुछ करना तो पड़ेगा. So that action bias is very important in life. At some point you have to get into that action bias, and but of course, like Shivani ji said, that she is happy to guide you. So please take that advantage. अभी message कर देना, बाद में she will forget.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Definitely.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
the situation seems like he's watching YouTube video on swimming and standing in front of water, being afraid to jump. And once
नहीं,
you
सबके
will
साथ होता
jump,
है.
you will learn, enjoy the waters and learn swimming.
अभी
That's
गौरव
it.
थोड़ा young है, तो we can pull his leg, but it happens to all of us, right?
Yeah, it
For
happens
example,
to
I will
everyone.
give a very, very silly example. I don't know how to ride a bike, right? So geared bike, like motorcycle, and ये 25 साल से चल रहा है. I want to learn. So मैं किसी और को क्या बोलूं? I also have these limitations. Maybe it is a harmless limitation. कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है मेरी लाइफ में, but आपकी लाइफ में पड़ रहा है because you are struggling with something that you should do. So, but everybody has
Sir,
I would like to add, Hirani sir, 1 minute. I would like to add here one concept of your first 20 hours. आपने 10,000 hours का बात किया. 10,000 hours will take a long time. But first 20 hours, invest in your learning, the thing you are afraid of, and you will be ahead. You will be ahead of all those people, those who are there in the skill that you invest your first 20 hours. So this is a nice concept book, your first 20 hours, which talks about invest just 20 hours of learning into the field what you aspire for. And हम डरते रहते हैं कि नहीं होगा नहीं होगा नहीं होगा. And the moment, like take example for driving itself, हम डरते रहते हैं और hardships झेलते रहते हैं for throughout the time we do not learn driving. The moment we learn driving, we take 20 hours to get through the process, and After that, it becomes quite easy. Our life becomes easy. So वो procrastination नहीं होना चाहिए. वो 20 hours invest it in your
Correct.
learning, first 20 hours.
Totally.
And you
Totally.
you will definitely be ahead of other people in that skill. Yeah, Hirani sir, please go ahead.
नहीं मैं I had gone through अभी 2 दिन पहले मैं पढ़ा आई थिंक अपनी बुक में एमपीजी में कि Socrates met a boy who was crying. तो उसको बोलता क्यों रो रहा है? बोलता I cannot feel this ocean in my cup. I cannot feel the ocean in my cup. बोलता है अरे बाप रे now I what read बोलता है. He said I got it right now. I was trying to feel all the wisdom in my mind. Now I understood. I can submit to the wisdom myself. I can wholly submit, not taking all the wisdom, but better I submit to it. It is always like this. There are going to be limitations, sir. There have to be limitations. One person cannot do everything. And that is where the delegation comes. That is where the smart working comes. But for that, you have to learn it. You have to know what you are going to do, delegate, you know. So what you said, sir, that is perfect. First hard work, then smart work. Without that, there is no smart work.
Thank you. Thank you. Well said. Well said. So शिवानी जी आप कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है आई थिंक हो गया.
I hope so. So I would like to thank you, sir, for today's deliberation. It was really wonderful session. So many people's questions got answered, and our focus is to bring more clarity to people so that they can take further steps. They can go ahead. And I also have an announcement for those who wish to start their LinkedIn journey. So I'm taking tomorrow a masterclass I have floated in the group. So just in case anyone wishes to start their LinkedIn journey or want to grow on LinkedIn, please attend tomorrow's masterclass. And after that, I will be throwing a 100 days challenge where we will be posting on LinkedIn continuously, and it will become a habit for you. So this is a wonderful opportunity. Please join tomorrow's masterclass.
So I can also join or?
Sir, you will be an added advantage and you can guide people. So you are already ahead. You are an inspiration for so many people.
Ahead of it कुछ नहीं होता है. Everybody is on a journey. So
yeah, definitely. Everybody is on their timeline.
I will check your LinkedIn details to find a slot. If possible, I'll see. But
sure.
But it's a very worthy thing. Those who are very keen, I keep telling people who come to me for LinkedIn guidance that first write for 1 month, then come to me. Right? अगर आप वो स्टेप नहीं ले सकते हैं, then मैं तो ज्ञान बांट रहा हूँ फ्री का, then it is of no meaning, right? So this gyan is anyway available. First, take some action and small action, maybe write for 7 days, write for 10 days, something which will show your commitment. Once you have shown that commitment, then I know that, okay, maybe now you can be molded. So you are doing very right thing, Shivaniji. All the best to you and participants.
Thank you. So I would like to introduce business coach Suresh ji, who will be speaker for next Saturday. And he has something for everyone, those who are into entrepreneurship. So I invite him to introduce his program, and then we'll float whatever details are there. Because that program is starting from 5th of October and he will be speaking in the morning. So it will be difficult for you to understand the whole thing. So I invited him to organize a separate session for those who are interested to explain what he has on the table. So welcome, Sureshji. Please go ahead. And we'll know you better next Saturday.
Yes. Thank you, Shivani and Hirani for something very unique, skilling on Saturdays. What a great idea! That's what was interesting. And yes, Anshumanji, thanks a lot for really talking about intention and career. That's very important. If you don't have intention, probably you will not even eat your breakfast in the morning. No, that's very well said, and I thoroughly enjoyed all the program. So coming to, yes, we had been talking about mindset. Those of you who heard mindset, who want to know mindset, please do show up next Saturday, because the topic will be around growth mindset for the present era with AI domination. Shivani, sorry for opening up the secret, but there are 22 people who deserve to know, so that they'll plan themselves and tell their friends. So another thing which, and first of all, thanks for the opportunity. You said, why not I come today and share? So we are in which month now? Hello, you can unmute.
Last 100 days. Last 100 days of the year.
So we are in September. So we are done with 9 months. So what was that you were thinking in January 2024 to achieve? 9 months is over. Not sure 75% is completed or not. So this program is only for entrepreneurs. This program is only for those people who want to cover all the things they wanted to achieve in 9 months in next 90 days. So it's going to be a group coaching program, which will start in October and conclude in December. And we will also work towards a concrete, crystal clear plan for 2025. So this is what I can tell in the shortest time. And I'll be sharing the details with Shivani. So meanwhile, let me see how many of you are alert. If you are an entrepreneur, please put across in the chat box, entrepreneur. I don't know out of 22 people.
So I'll also conduct a poll of how many people in the community are into entrepreneurship
please do that.
How many are into the job industry.
Even if they're aspiring entrepreneurs, they can make it. But if people who are only into job, they may find it a bit odd. That's the only reason. It's not that it's not for them.
Right.
So I
not everything is for everyone. So
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a completely different mindset. So thanks again. I'll not take much time because I am feeling hungry. I'm sure most of you are feeling hungry for breakfast. Thank you.
Thank you. So please do share the details of the workshop, and I'll
do it. You can send it across. Now I'm not prepared. I'll send it across. And the name of the program will be Sure Success Intensive and 2.0, because before pandemic it was completely different. Now it is completely different. It's a 90 days cohort. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Anshuman ji. I hope more people will be, might be in job or CA practice. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think Hirani ji is on mute. I think he's saying
Hirani
something.
Sir,
Yes. You asking something?
Are you saying something, Hirani sir?
I was telling Anshuman ji that he had started something very, a different, no, it was an old concept, but it has gone down because of this, smart work. Today, it's made us realize it will come to smart work when you do the hard work. So I like that idea. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's it.
Thank you everyone for joining in today and making this session a huge success. Thank you, Anshuman ji, for your time, your patience, and the wonderful knowledge you shared across our audience. Definitely, many will be benefiting later by watching the recording, because not everyone is a morning person. And the reason behind conducting this in the early morning hours is personal development starts from waking up early. And that is the first habit we wish to develop in each of our participants.
No, totally okay. You show your time. Any time you need me again, let me know. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Cool. Thank you, everyone. All the best, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.